Hello, people who watch things on the internet. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for everyone for the subscriptions. So if you haven't already subscribed, go do it there. And then go tell some friends to do it too. And if you missed the last Do or Do Not, you can find it down there, where we review the game Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage thing. It was horrible. You can watch it to just watch me talk about other stuff. And then the next Do or Do Not, whenever it goes up, will be down over there. So I think you guys are ready for this. I don't even know if you can quite handle this. Let me back up a little bit, because we're going to go to the 3-camera setup now. Oh gosh, here we are, 3-camera setup. There's one, there's two. Oh gosh, hi 3rd camera. Anyways, we're going to review the game Dance Central. Yeah, check out that music. For the Xbox 360 Kinect. So it's our second review for the Kinect. First thing about this game, the way it tracks your body in the menu system, I find a lot better than Kinect Adventure. So I can hold out my arm here, and then all I have to do is swipe it across, and look, I'm into the next menu. And check this out. So the premise of this game is it's a full body dancing game. That you don't need to hold anything, and you don't need to do anything other than just follow the prompts on the screen, and then you're going to be dancing. So let's go up here. Oops, it doesn't like me. There we go. There we go. And dance. So you can pick your songs. There's tons of different songs here. We'll just start up at the very top. Little Lady Gaga poker face for you. So we can select that one. So you can break it down, you can perform it there in the middle, and then we can also dance battle, but I'll talk about that a little later. So the way you learn a song is you break it down, and you just go into this mode, and we'll just even go on to the easy one. And it's going to teach you step by step how to do the dance, which is pretty cool in the sense that, you don't have to be a dancer to do this game. You could just be an average Joe who's like, I kind of want to do some dancing in the privacy of my own home and look really ridiculous. Or you could be like a professional dancer and dance to this and kick some major booty. So we're going to break it down, and I'm going to show you how this section works here. It runs you through things, and you can try to do it the first time, and if you don't get it exactly correct, and it talks to you a lot, it's very funny. So we can try to do it, I've done this one already, so I'm going to show you a little bit. So it shows you things on the screen here, so we're going to step, a little early, side, side. So it'll do it there, and as you can see, it says flawless. So sometimes you're like, well, I'm not really sure, I don't really get the instructions on how to do this, so you may kind of mess up, like this is going to include your arms and your legs, and you're just like, I kind of don't know what I'm doing, like I have no rhythm, and so it's going to run you through it a couple more times to make sure you get it 3 times in a row. And then you can clap together. You don't actually have to make a clapping sound. And so it's going to do it, it's going to make sure you know how to do the step, because you're going to remember how to do these steps over and over in the entire dance. And you're going to have to put all the moves together. So you can do it. Oops, I'm forgetting my claps. You guys aren't watching my claps. And so there, like I wasn't clapping, and you can see the guy's arms turn red to tell you like what you're not doing correctly. So there's an immediate feedback system to it, which is pretty cool. And then after you do the sets of moves on the screen, then it's going to run you through them together as one kind of a recap, as they call it, just to make sure that you know what you're doing. So you can just, it's pretty easy. This is easy. First song, it's not too hard. You can always see yourself over there on the right side of the screen. And then I lifted up my arm there, so I didn't like that so much. So things will highlight in red when you're not doing it correctly. So I'm going to mess up here. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's up. My arm turned red. And you get the feedback at the bottom if you're doing it perfect. Flawless, as they call it, or just kind of good. It's a lot of fun in the sense that I wouldn't necessarily go out to the club and dance, not that I go to clubs a lot anyways, but it's kind of fun, and this one's fun. It's just like, say what, say what, say what, say what. You kind of just have to do it. Some of the names of things are ridiculous. And it takes into account, it can see your feet and your arms, so you really have to do things correctly all the time. There's even a way, I think, later to slow things down. If you're really having some trouble with moves, you can tell the computer. So I can go up here and retry if I wanted, or I can just go into something else. And if you're really having a hard time, like I said, it can slow the moves down so you can really just understand what's going on. So there, I didn't necessarily get my arms and my legs in sync together. Okay, so I'm going to quit this by doing the universal left arm outside and Kinect, which means I want to go back in the menu. And we're just going to go to the performance section. And like I said, I love this menu system in terms of just being able to move my arm up and down and then just being able to swipe left. It feels really intuitive in the sense of it's pretty easy to pick things, and sometimes it has a little bit of problem. Sometimes if your hands are in the way, or if you're like wearing wafty clothing, like a jacket or something, take it off. You do sweat, and sometimes it just has a hard time distinguishing your moves over a long period of time. So here we go. The moves come up to the side, and you're going to mirror the guy on screen, so you don't have to translate it in your head. So we're like, he's stepping with his left, but I have to step with my right, but it's not backwards. You just do, you're a mirror. So if he goes left, you go to your, or he goes to his right, you go to your left. Oops, I missed my arms, You do have to pay attention, but it gives you enough feedback there about what's coming up. And I gotta say, the graphics are pretty good. They're not great. But at the same time, I'm talking and playing this game at the same time, which probably isn't the best thing. The character designs, it works. It's not supposed to be super realistic. I can't talk and dance at the same time. There we go. But you got your background graphics, you got some different background people back there, different venues that you're playing in. And, for the most part, it's cool. Like, it looks like someone's dancing. It's a good move. I want to get to this one part. Oh, here we go. So, it's really, really quite ridiculous. Like, you have to have some self-confidence. And here's my favorite part about this game. So there's a freestyle mode where you kind of do what you want. You break it down. I'm going to do this here. And then in a second here, it was taking pictures while I was doing it. And here, it plays back this like stop motion animation of you playing the game, which I always find completely ridiculous. The other mode that I really enjoy, and I found that this was good, it's kind of like a party game, was the battle mode, where you don't dance at the same time with someone else, but you take turns dancing portions of the song. And the one downside there is that if you are the first player, you get a bit of, or a second player, you get an advantage by watching the first player do the dance, and then you can kind of, especially if you pick a song that no one's done before. There, I finished my song. I'm out of breath. But the second player gets an advantage because they get to see the first person do some of the moves, especially if neither one of you have played. But it's also just really fun to throw two people in there, find a song that no one's played before, and just let you figure it out, because there is a bit of a challenge of figuring out how to do it on the fly. Let me mute this here. And that song was fairly easy, a lot of just sidestepping. The game really gets involved a little later. Some of the moves are a lot more difficult and pretty ridiculous when I do say so myself. But the dance battle is fun just as a party. You gotta loosen people up a bit, so you may need to give them a trick or two. I'm not saying go nuts, but drunk Dance Central could be kind of ridiculous. Just make sure the area is nice and clear. That's one of this. Definitely on this game, you need a really big space for the Kinect sensor to be able to see you all the way and see your motions and read. Sometimes it has trouble with the legs, and sometimes if you're doing motions really close to the side of your body, it has a little bit of problems with it. But otherwise, I gotta say, if you remotely like dance, or if you have little kids who like dancing, do buy this game. I think it's one of the better Kinect titles that are out there so far. Granted, I've only reviewed this, my second one, but it seems very fluid. It seems very natural. We played this at Christmas time, and My mom's cousins played it, and my mom and my sister played it. My friends really seem to like it. And there's a workout mode, which I haven't played around with, but I'm assuming if I'm already sweating from dancing from one song that you probably can get a decent workout dancing, and you know, you're going to learn maybe a couple moves, and here and there it might increase your rhythm a little bit. If you have none, you may be challenged already. I did get the chance to play Dance Central 2 for the Wii over the weekend, and granted, you just have a Wii, and so it's really based on just your arm motions or whatever. It still is good. They actually take a method of motion capturing real-life people dancing, so you really do get a sense that these people really are dancing and you're following along, versus here we have a completely animated character. The graphics definitely are better on the Xbox 360, so the Wii compensates by using kind of motion capture and kind of washing it out a little bit. But still, it was a fun game. Though you're relying on a Wiimote to kind of get the moves here, where here you have to be pretty spot on and doing things in sync with the things that are going on. It's got a good soundtrack. Poker Face, Hey Miami, Evacuate the Dance Floor, Funky Town, Come On Let It Ride, Can't Get My Head Out of Say, Crank That by Soulja Boy. So, you know, and it goes, the challenging list, as you can see, just goes pretty crazy, and you can really get challenged in your dancing abilities. I haven't gotten there quite yet, so I say go out there, pick it up. Let me know what you guys think of Dance Central, if you played it. If watching me dance like a fool makes you want to play it, let me know that as well. Tell me if you were like captain of your cheerleading squad and I look like the biggest idiot, that's fine. Or if somehow I convinced you that dancing in front of a TV by yourself is fun. So please do subscribe to this channel. Do tell people about this channel as well. Follow me on Twitter, Andrew Seeley. Don't go running down the street in a tutu, or don't try to grow wings out of your back. And if you get that one, you've watched the Black Swan review. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for tuning in for another edition of Do or Do Not. Adios.